In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 15 chocolate brands hiding lead and cadmium behind glossy wrappers and premium labels, plus the independent lab testing that reveals what manufacturers never wanted you to know. And here's the good news. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal the 4 brands that actually deliver pure chocolate without the heavy metal contamination. Let's separate real indulgence from the toxic sweetness that's been sitting in your pantry. 15. Theo Chocolate. Starting at number 15, Theo Chocolate positions itself as organic and ethical, but independent testing tells a troubling story. Consumer Reports testing identified a Theo dark chocolate bar among brands containing elevated levels of cadmium and lead, heavy metals that accumulate in your body over time. What makes this particularly concerning is that Theo markets itself as a premium conscious choice, attracting health-focused consumers who believe they're making safer decisions. As You Sow filed legal notices with Theo Chocolate over lead and cadmium levels exceeding California's maximum allowable dose levels without providing consumer warnings. For those who grew up when chocolate was a simple pleasure, learning that even organic premium brands can harbor heavy metal contamination feels like a betrayal of trust. The concern intensifies for older adults because our bodies accumulate these metals over decades. Cadmium affects kidney function while lead impacts cognitive health issues none of us take lightly. 14. Trader Joe's. At number 14, Trader Joe's private label chocolate carries the friendly neighborhood store reputation, but testing reveals problems beneath the cheerful branding. Consumer Reports testing identified a Trader Joe's branded dark chocolate bar among products with elevated cadmium and lead levels. Many of us have trusted Trader Joe's for decades, making this discovery particularly unsettling for loyal shoppers. Reuters reported that a lawsuit over heavy metals in Trader Joe's chocolate was largely dismissed, but dismissal doesn't mean the contamination wasn't real. The private label nature means less transparency about sourcing compared to major brands with public accountability. Lead exposure affects blood pressure and cardiovascular health, issues many of us already manage carefully. Cadmium accumulates in kidneys, potentially worsening the natural decline in kidney function that occurs with aging. 13. Lily's. Coming in at number 13, Lily's markets itself as better-for-you chocolate with sugar-free formulations attracting diabetics and health-conscious consumers. Food Dive reported that a tested Lily's dark chocolate bar was among brands showing elevated cadmium and lead in Consumer Reports testing. Many people choose Lily's specifically because they're managing blood sugar, making the heavy metal concern particularly troubling. What consumers might not realize is that Lily's is owned by Hershey, meaning production likely follows industrial processes. For those carefully reading labels and making deliberate health choices, discovering that the sugar-free chocolate we selected contains heavy metals feels deeply frustrating. The irony stings because switching to Lily's often represents a sacrifice, giving up familiar sweetness for stevia-sweetened alternatives, only to discover we're potentially trading one health concern for another. 12. Green & Black's. At number 12, Green & Black's organic certification and British heritage create an image of superior quality, but laboratory analysis reveals contamination concerns. Food Dive reported that a tested Green & Black's dark chocolate bar was among brands with elevated cadmium and lead in Consumer Reports testing. The same testing found that 23 of 28 dark chocolate bars tested contained high levels of cadmium or lead, with Green & Black's specifically named among the higher contamination group. For consumers who pay premium prices believing organic certification means comprehensive safety, learning that organic chocolate can still harbor heavy metals challenges fundamental assumptions. Many of us remember when organic meant something simple and pure. The British brand heritage adds another layer of trust that testing contradicts, as we tend to associate European food standards with stricter safety protocols. 11. Lindt. Moving into more problematic territory, Lindt represents Swiss chocolate, excellence in American consciousness, yet faces serious heavy metal allegations. As You Sow filed legal notices with Lindt over lead and cadmium levels exceeding California's maximum allowable dose levels without providing consumer warnings. Reuters reported that Lindt was among chocolate companies sued after Consumer Reports documented heavy metals in dark chocolate products. For those who grew up considering Swiss chocolate the gold standard, these findings shake deeply held beliefs about premium European manufacturing. Lindt's premium pricing and elegant packaging create expectations of superior safety that testing contradicts. Lead affects blood pressure regulation, compounding hypertension concerns common among older adults. Cadmium accumulates over decades, meaning our generation faces the greatest cumulative burden from years of consumption. 10. Hershey's. At number 10, Hershey's represents American chocolate heritage, the brand that defined childhood treats for generations, now facing heavy metal scrutiny. As You Sow filed legal notices with Hershey's over lead and cadmium levels exceeding California's maximum allowable dose levels without providing consumer warnings. Food and Wine reported that Consumer Reports found elevated lead in a Hershey's Special Dark Bar during independent testing. For Americans our age, Hershey's isn't just chocolate, it's nostalgia embodied, connected to memories of Halloween and simpler times. Learning that this iconic brand harbors heavy metal contamination feels like losing a piece of American innocence. The Special Dark variety appeals to adults seeking more sophisticated chocolate, making the elevated lead finding particularly concerning. Many of us have Hershey's products in our homes right now, purchased automatically through decades of brand loyalty. 9. Dove. At number 9, Dove chocolate from Mars markets itself as smooth indulgence, but independent testing reveals contamination beneath the silky exterior. Reuters reported that Mars was among chocolate companies sued after Consumer Reports documented heavy metals in dark chocolate, with the article specifically noting Mars manufactures Dove chocolate. As You Sow filed legal notices with Mars over lead and cadmium levels exceeding California's maximum allowable dose levels without providing consumer warnings. For consumers who reach for Dove believing mass-market brands undergo rigorous safety testing, learning about heavy metal contamination challenges assumptions about corporate food safety standards. The smooth texture and premium positioning create a health halo effect. Many people keep Dove in their homes as a daily small indulgence, meaning regular consumption despite seemingly modest portion sizes. 8. Godiva. Approaching number 8, Godiva embodies luxury chocolate, a brand associated with special occasions and premium gifting, now facing heavy metal allegations. As You Sow filed legal notices with Godiva over lead and cadmium levels, exceeding California's maximum allowable dose levels without consumer warnings. Reuters reported Godiva was among chocolate companies sued after Consumer Reports documented heavy metals in dark chocolate products. For consumers who view Godiva as the ultimate chocolate indulgence worth saving for special moments, discovering contamination in this prestigious brand proves particularly disillusioning. The premium pricing and boutique presentation create powerful expectations that laboratory testing contradicts. Many of us receive Godiva as gifts or purchase it for celebrations, treating it as a special pleasure distinct from everyday chocolate. The Belgian chocolate heritage and luxury positioning suggest enhanced safety protocols, but testing reveals heavy metals respect neither reputation nor price point. 7. Hu. At number 7, Hu positions itself as modern clean-eating chocolate, using paleo-friendly ingredients and simple formulations that appeal to health-conscious consumers. Business Insider's summary of Consumer Reports testing specifically stated brands like Hu were included among bars flagged for lead and cadmium concerns. Mondelez International's brand list includes Hu under its chocolate brands, meaning this artisanal-appearing product comes from a massive multinational corporation. For consumers who carefully research ingredients and choose Hu specifically for its cleaner profile, discovering heavy metal contamination, despite the simple ingredient list, proves especially frustrating. The minimalist packaging and health food store distribution create an organic, small-batch impression that the Mondelez ownership contradicts. Many people pay substantial premiums for Hu, believing they're supporting superior sourcing and manufacturing practices. 6. Perugina. Coming in at number 6, Perugina carries Italian heritage and European cachet, but testing reveals the most concerning lead levels among tested products. Food Navigator USA reported that an updated Consumer Reports analysis found Perugina Premium dark chocolate bars contained the highest amount of lead among tested bars. The same reporting noted the Consumer Reports analysis used California's 0.5 micrograms per day limit for lead as the benchmark. For consumers who associate Italian chocolate with artisan quality and European food safety standards, learning Perugina topped the lead contamination list proves deeply shocking. The premium designation in the product name creates expectations of superior ingredient sourcing and safety protocols that testing contradicts dramatically. Many of us purchase Perugina believing European manufacturing means stricter oversight and cleaner products compared to American mass production. The highest lead finding among tested bars isn't a minor exceedance, but a significant red flag. 5. 365 by Whole Foods Market. At number 5, 365 by Whole Foods Market benefits from the health food store's reputation for stringent standards, yet faces heavy metal allegations. As You Sow filed legal notices with Whole Foods over lead and cadmium above California maximum allowable dose levels and lack of consumer warnings. As You Sow described its findings as based on independent lab testing of 469 chocolate products, with 285 testing above California maximum allowable dose levels. For consumers who shop at Whole Foods specifically because they trust the store's quality standards and ingredient scrutiny, discovering the private label chocolate harbors heavy metals feels like a profound betrayal. Many of us pay premium prices at Whole Foods, believing that higher costs translate directly into safer, cleaner products. The health food store environment creates powerful assumptions about product safety that independent laboratory testing contradicts. 4. Simple Truth. Moving into truly problematic territory at number 4, Simple Truth represents Kroger's premium private label targeting health-conscious shoppers, yet faces heavy metal allegations. As You Sow filed legal notices with Kroger over lead and cadmium above California maximum allowable dose levels and lack of consumer warnings. Simple Truth is a Kroger private label brand as identified on Kroger product pages. For consumers who choose Simple Truth believing Kroger's premium line offers enhanced quality compared to conventional store brands, the heavy metal findings challenge those assumptions. Many shoppers specifically seek Simple Truth products throughout the store, trusting the brand name to deliver on its promise. The private label nature means Kroger controls sourcing and manufacturing standards, making contamination findings a direct reflection of corporate quality priorities. The branding implies transparency and purity, promises that independent laboratory testing suggests the products don't fulfill. 3. See's Candies. Claiming the number 3 spot, See's Candies represents West Coast tradition and beloved regional heritage, now facing heavy metal scrutiny. As You Sow filed legal notices with See's Candies over lead and cadmium above California maximum allowable dose levels and lack of consumer warnings. As You Sow stated the California maximum allowable dose level, thresholds it uses at 0.5 micrograms per day for lead and 4.1 micrograms per day for cadmium. For those with memories of See's shops in black and white boxes marking special occasions, learning this cherished brand harbors heavy metal contamination hurts on a personal level. See's represents more than chocolate, its family tradition, holiday rituals, and West Coast identity embodied in candy. The fact that See's operates primarily in California makes the contamination above California's own safety thresholds particularly ironic and troubling. Many families have See's traditions spanning generations, making the contamination findings feel like losing a piece of family heritage. 2. Equal Exchange. At number 2, Equal Exchange markets fair trade, principles, and ethical sourcing, attracting consumers who care about both personal health and global justice. As You Sow filed legal notices with Equal Exchange over lead and cadmium above California, maximum allowable dose levels and lack of consumer warnings. As You Sow said, its chocolate testing was performed at independent, state-certified laboratories, ensuring scientific rigor and credibility. For consumers who pay premium prices for Equal Exchange, believing that fair trade certification and ethical sourcing automatically ensure product purity, the heavy metal findings prove particularly disillusioning. Many people choose Equal Exchange specifically to support sustainable agriculture and fair farmer compensation, assuming these values extend to comprehensive safety. The fair trade certification and cooperative business model create powerful ethical associations that don't protect against geological heavy metal contamination in cocoa growing regions. 1. Chocolove. Taking the number 1 spot as the most concerning chocolate brand, Chocolove combines heavy metal contamination with corporate defensiveness. As You Sow filed legal notices with Chocolove over lead and cadmium above California maximum allowable dose levels and lack of consumer warnings. Chocolove published a response document addressing the Consumer Reports heavy metals coverage, suggesting the company knew about contamination concerns and chose to defend rather than reformulate. For consumers who choose Chocolove for its romantic branding and premium positioning, discovering it tops the concerning brands list, while the company defends rather than fixes the problem, proves especially troubling. The fact that Chocolove felt compelled to publish a formal response document suggests they viewed the Consumer Reports findings as threatening to business, rather than an opportunity to improve consumer safety. What makes Chocolove particularly problematic is the corporate response prioritizing reputation, management over ingredient safety. The romantic poems inside wrappers and premium pricing create an artisan impression that contamination findings and corporate defensiveness systematically dismantle. After exposing 15 contaminated brands, here's genuine relief for chocolate lovers who refuse to give up this pleasure entirely. These 4 brands prove that dark chocolate can deliver antioxidants and enjoyment without heavy metal contamination. Independent testing verified their safety, offering peace of mind we all deserve. 4. Mast starting our safer list at number 4. Mast brings artisan Brooklyn chocolate making with laboratory-verified purity. Food Dive's summary of Consumer Reports testing stated offerings from Mast had less of both cadmium and lead than several other tested bars, representing genuine safety and independent analysis. CBS News, summarizing Consumer Reports, listed a Mast dark chocolate bar among safer choices based on measured lead and cadmium percentages, versus the reference maximums used in the reporting. For consumers who felt overwhelmed by heavy metal warnings and wondered if any chocolate remains safe, Mast represents evidence that careful manufacturing can produce clean products. The Brooklyn artisan operations suggest small batch attention to sourcing and quality control that testing confirms actually delivers results. The Consumer Reports testing used identical methodology for all brands, meaning Mast's lower contamination levels reflect genuine differences in sourcing or processing. 3. Valrhona. At number 3, Valrhona represents French chocolate excellence backed by independent testing verification. Food Dive's summary of Consumer Reports testing stated offerings from Valrhona had less of both cadmium and lead than several other tested bars, confirming safety through rigorous laboratory analysis. CBS News, summarizing Consumer Reports, listed a Valrhona dark chocolate bar among safer choices based on measured lead and cadmium percentages versus the reference maximums. For consumers who've trusted European chocolate as inherently superior, Valrhona validates that trust through actual testing rather than marketing. Claims. The French heritage and professional pastry chef clientele suggest ingredient standards that independent laboratory analysis confirms. The Consumer Reports testing methodology remained consistent across all tested brands, meaning Valrhona's lower contamination levels represent genuine manufacturing and sourcing differences. For those of us who refuse to give up dark chocolate entirely, Valrhona represents a choice we can make with genuine confidence. 2. Taza chocolate. Coming in at number 2, Taza chocolate brings stone-ground Mexican tradition with verified safety through independent testing. Food Dive's summary of Consumer Reports testing stated offerings from Taza chocolate had less of both cadmium and lead than several other tested bars, confirming their traditional methods produce cleaner results. CBS News, summarizing Consumer Reports, listed a Taza dark chocolate bar among safer choices based on measured lead and cadmium percentages versus the reference maximums used in reporting. For consumers seeking authentic chocolate traditions, Taza's stone grinding process and direct trade sourcing apparently extends to heavy metal safety. The Massachusetts-based company's commitment to Mexican chocolate traditions suggests manufacturing care that independent testing validates. The Consumer Reports testing used identical laboratory protocols for all brands, meaning Taza's lower contamination levels reflect genuine differences rather than testing variations. 1. Ghirardelli. Taking the top spot as the absolute best chocolate choice based on independent testing, Ghirardelli represents American chocolate heritage that actually delivers safety. Food Dive's summary of Consumer Reports testing stated offerings from Ghirardelli had less of both cadmium and lead than several other tested bars, confirming legendary quality through rigorous analysis. CBS News, summarizing Consumer Reports, listed a Ghirardelli dark chocolate bar among safer choices based on measured lead and cadmium percentages versus the reference maximums. For Americans our age who grew up with Ghirardelli as the special occasion chocolate, learning this beloved brand past independent safety testing feels like validation of childhood trust. The San Francisco heritage and 170-year history suggest manufacturing expertise that laboratory analysis confirms actually produces cleaner chocolate. Many of us have memories connected to Ghirardelli, making the verified safety finding about preserving cherished traditions rather than abandoning them. For those of us unwilling to give up dark chocolate but concerned about heavy metal exposure, Ghirardelli represents the safest choice backed by independent laboratory verification. There you have it, 15 chocolate brands harboring concerning heavy metal levels and 4 that passed independent testing with genuinely lower contamination. Before your next chocolate purchase, remember this. Look for the brands that independent testing verified as safer, and don't let premium pricing or organic labels substitute for actual laboratory results. If this video changed how you think about chocolate safety, share it with friends and family who deserve to make informed choices about what they're eating.